Hey yo, hope you're doing good. Hope you're not dying. I hope you're great. Whoever's watching this. Um, so, so starting off chapter 11, we are first introduced to a new setting, which is Fremont, California, during the 1980s. The first quote in this chapter that we see is, "Baba loved the America. Sorry, Baba loved the idea of America. It was living in America that gave him an ulcer." I like this quote a lot because it just kind of goes to show how the American dream isn't really as ideal as everyone thinks. You know, it can be extremely enticing, but once you get to actually trying to achieve it, it can also be extremely excruciating. Um, so we learned that Amir and Baba moved to America after being smuggled to Pakistan, and we start to see slight glimpses of their lives so far, adjusting to American life. So the first thing we're introduced to is Baba's outlook on politics, which is that there are only really three real men in this world, which is America, Britain, and Israel, and that every other country slash person is essentially nothing. He also believes that Jimmy Carter is basically useless, a peanut eater, which he was, and he becomes an extremely devout Ronald Reagan supporter. Um, sorry, I don't have coronavirus, I promise. Um, after this, we learn that Baba has had a really hard time adjusting to American life. He doesn't want to go to ESL classes to learn better English, even though Amir, tries to convince him for a year and a half. And we learned that in 1983, while Amir was busy buying books at a used bookstore, he hears a really big commotion across the street at a convenience store. He goes inside and he sees Baba surrounded by broken glass with frightened stone owners, like back against the wall in fear. And Amir finds out that the stone owners wanted to see an ID for Baba for a check, even though he's been buying from them for 2 years, which extremely upsets Baba because he feels that nobody trusts him. After this, Amir essentially has to fix the entire situation, so he apologizes to the store owners, and he tells Baba, like, hey, no, it's supposed to be a normal thing, which Baba still doesn't really take in. After this, Amir essentially just says, I'm so sorry for everything, we'll pay for whatever he broke, just send me an estimate of the damages, and thank you for not calling the cops. After this, Amir takes Baba home, and he suggests, hey, why don't we go back to America? Back to Persia, my bad. Actually, I skipped a little part. I did a noopsie there. So once he goes back to his house, he essentially says that Baba's like an old widower who like remarries but can't let go of his dead wife. In the aspect that even though he's moved to America, he doesn't want to give up his memories of Kabul. So like all the good times he had, all the lavish parties he had, his house, his home, his job, everything that was important to him, which is understandable. And after this, he decides to ask him, hey, well, do you want to move back to Persia, which is a city which they stayed in for 6 months while waiting for their travel visas. And there, Baba was really happy because he knew people and like he still had some sort of recognition there. After Baba hears this, he's like, well, it was good for me, but it wasn't really good for you. And Amir's like, oh, okay, thank you. And Baba says, either way, I didn't come to America for me. Which Amir takes as like, oh, one last gift for Amir, taking him to America so he can have a better future. After this, we're told that Baba had, like, as soon as he arrived to America, Baba found a job within a month. He became an assistant at a gas station and just all sorts of menial jobs like filling up gas tanks, running the cash register, changing oil, all that good stuff. And as soon as he gets the job, Baba goes to a social worker and drops a stack of food stamps in her desk and just tells her, I don't need it, thank you, but I've worked all my life essentially. He says in broken English, I work in Afghanistan, I work in America, no free money. Which just goes to show how proud of a person Baba, not just Baba, but Afghans in general can be. After he gives back the food stamps, Amir goes on to say that Baba felt as relieved as if he had been removed, as if a tumor had been removed from him. Because his biggest fear was that an Afghan would see him and see him using free money, which would bring him a lot of shame. After this, that same summer, Amir graduates high school, and Baba's extremely proud. He tells him, "I am proud of you, Amir. He says the word, I'll go back to you on that. He tells Amir, "I'm extremely proud of you." Then after this, he takes him out to eat at a kebab house. They order an extravagant amount of food. And I'm sorry this is shaking so much. It's on my laptop, and this is the only room in my house that I can record in because it's hectic. Because I'm in my room right now. Stop moving. Okay. So he takes him out to eat, and then after he goes out to eat, he takes him to a bar. And at the bar, Baba just becomes the life of the party. He goes in, and he's like, "My son is going to college, and he just graduated high school, and I'm going to buy everyone drinks." So he buys this old man next to him a drink. He buys a group of pool players a pint of Budweiser, and then it just progresses to the point where he basically buys everybody in the bar like a pitcher of Budweiser. He tells the old man to go play some music on the jukebox, and essentially just throws a giant party, which Amir says to, like, no matter the setting, Baba is still gonna be Baba. So, like, it doesn't matter if it's America, Persia, or Kabul. Baba's still gonna be that bigger than life image. No matter where he goes. After they leave the bar, Baba tells Amir, "Hey, keep driving to the end of the street," where he pulls out a set of car keys and tells him, "Here, this is yours. You're gonna need it for college." He bought Amir a Gran Torino, a navy blue Gran Torino, and Amir is overcome with thankfulness and all these emotions that he can't really tell his dad because he knows he's gonna make him feel he's gonna shame him. He's going to embarrass him. And my foot's falling. And he decides not to just tell him thank you over and over, twice, so he won't embarrass him. After this, Amir tells us how sometimes he would just take the car and drive for hours all over the coast to a lighthouse to watch the sunrise, to how sometimes he would just park on the side of a bridge overpass and just count the number of taillights that he could see. He was just in awe at how vast America could be. He talks about that. He talks about how he's still, like, grasping the concept of that past a freeway, there's another freeway, then, like, a city, and then another freeway, and another city, and another city, and another freeway, and it's just a giant network of that. He goes on to say that while Kabul had become a city of ghosts for him, a city of hair-lipped ghosts, America's is a river in which he can just